And this is a bit of a quick one. I'm not going to show you how to use, as I said last time, I'm using ChatGPT and Meshi, because one of the problems I had, just to quickly recap for those who weren't with us, is that you can buy, since Eddie introduced me to doing figures with Make Human and Blender. The problem with Make Human for me, because I tend to operate in the 1930s, you can't Make Human has all the modern stuff. It's not designed for railway modelers, it's designed for graphic arts. And if you buy a set of figures online, six figures, what are they, 10 quid or something? And that's it, six poses, that's all you get. So I've been doing my own in Make Human, and I've not been happy that my station staff are wearing Taiwanese army uniforms, because that's all Make Human had to offer. So it was about a month ago that I thought, let's give AI a try. And I presented it last time round. So I thought this time I would just run through my sort of workflow. I've tried to speed things up so you haven't got to wait while the AI is doing its bit, just to show people how literally easy it is to go from nothing to a finished model. And it's particularly useful for you want station staff or workers or even townspeople in particular clothing. And obviously, it's really aimed at resin printing, but it means you're producing your figures for pennies, if not less, rather than pounds. And if you're like me, you end up having hundreds all over the place. The hardest part is, maybe unless you're using O gauge, the hardest part is painting them at the end of the day. And when you've suddenly produced 100 models from one bed, and then you're faced with the task of printing them, you ask yourself, why did I print so many? This is with ChatGPT, and I'm just going to run through how I've got to it. So you can see here up the top, I asked ChatGPT to do a 2D image of a 1930s station master, and that's what it came up with. I'm not going to waste time going through doing it. It got to this in probably 30 or 40 seconds. I then said to it, remove lamp and place figure in an A pose. You'll understand why a little bit down the line. So its second attempt was that. Now, that's more of a T pose than an A pose. So the next comment was, move both arms down halfway. And it came up with that. I thought, that's fine. That I can use. So I saved that. And then we've got that. And then we move into Meshi then. So in Meshi, I drag the figure into this box here. And I say generate. And it comes up with that 3D figure. Takes about a minute and a half, something of that nature. I don't mind showing you, but I'm quite sure you don't need to sit through watching it the egg timer go. And that brings up this image here, which you can save and download. And that was great. Now you can do poses in Meshi, but each time you pose it, you're using up credits. So I thought, right, it would be nice to be able to do this separately. So I found out that you can rig it in Meshi. And the way to rig it in Meshi is literally, there's your figure there, and you click on this one to go into animation. Now again, clicking on animation will take a couple of minutes. So rather than do that, what I'm going to bring is, if you look at my library, you can see that some of them, that one hasn't, but some got a little animated figure in the top right corner. When I move over it loses it. You can see it there. And that means that one's been animated. So if I bring that one in, and that's the animation, not the animation I want, but it doesn't matter. Let me go back to the non-animated one. which is that one there. So let's animate that one, okay? To just show you. So I go down there and I go animate. Now I got pre-set animations because it's designed for poses. I'm not interested in any of these. They bear no interest at all to what we want. So on this one, you click on rig. And that goes into the rig mode in that mode. And that's our figure. Forget all these over here. Just click the next button. And what that comes up with is where you want the rig. Now, you leave it as it is in the center. You can move that. So you can rotate it round to whatever you want the rig. But you'll see why you just leave it in the center and go to next. You can set your height here, 1.7 meters. It really doesn't matter. You can leave it all alone. Press next. And then you've got your movement points. You can leave this as it is. Or you can, what I've done, you can see I just moved down the knees slightly. The rest of it you can leave as it is. It works perfectly well. And then you do confirm. And it will do its job. And we'll just let this run through a moment. And what it will do then is it will come up with a rigged figure. It doesn't take long. You can see there 26%, 31%. I don't use any of these because we're not interested in animation. Unless one of you knows how you can make your figures walk along your platform, then that will be even great. But I can't see us at that stage yet. So we allow that one to be animated. It's nearly there. And you can see the amount of time we've spent so far has not been long at all. And any minute now we'll get the rigged figure come up. And there it is, the rigged figure. So we bring the rigged figure now back into here. Whoops. Come on, come in. Why won't it come in? Don't know why is it? Hang on, let's go back in now. Right, there it is. It's in there. No, it's coming in a walking position because that's a default. Don't worry about it. You click down here now and you upload it. Now, when you upload it, because you can upload it straight as an STL, but we don't want that. We don't want the animation. With the animation, it only gives you 3 options. We don't want it. So we can turn that off. And then you get whatever you want to do. But what I want to do is I want the rigged character. So you click on the rigged character and we choose the FBX, which is the Blender one, and we download it. And that downloads and it's downloaded. So let's go now into Blender and we go File and we go Import, and it's the FBX file, and it's that one there that we just done, 1942. Open it. Import FBX, and there it is in there. Now all you have to do in Blender, it's frightening, this right hand side is. So all you have to do is that you want to be able to see the skeleton. So it's coming over here to the animate button, that little green one. And if it's not open, you open the viewport display there and you click in front there. And now you can see the bone structure. Then you come up here to pose mode, and then you start posing. Now, if we want to make him walk, we would just click on that joint there, go in the rotate one, and rotate his leg up. Click on that one, and rotate that one down a bit. Go the other side, click on that joint, rotate that. Oh, wrong one. Oh, I picked his hand, look, not his blimmin' leg. That's better. Push that one back a bit, and then you can push that one back slightly as well. Adjust the feet. And you can do the same with the arms. Go up to the shoulder length. Pull that arm up. Now, if we go in the front view, if we find his arms out a bit, you can see the red is that axis, if you like. The green is that axis. And the blue is the other way round. So if you find them, they're going out, it takes a bit of getting used to. But you can see it's quite straightforward. You can click on that one, bring him up. You can click up here. I think it's that one. Turn his head to one side. Make him look down a little bit as well. And you can see how, and then basically all you're doing then is you go into File and you export it as your STL. We'll put it into our downloads and we'll export it as man. And then that's the one. If I go and open up Chitterbox a moment, just bear with me while I pull it up. My Chitterbox seems to take for ages sometimes. Where's it gone? Right, let's get got too many screens up now. Right, there's Chitterbox, and then open up Chitterbox, cancel that, open up that, and then new project, and then we want to import. Open the file where we then downloads man, and he is there. Now what you do need to do now, which is one of the issues that I had, is you can now resize it at this stage. So if you've got several of them, you can resize them. Just click on it and you go over here to scale and make sure you're locked so they're all the same. And you can say in millimeters. Now the Z height, so for an average person, 5'7", 5'8", on OO gauge is 21 millimeters. So we just type in 21 and that rescales him. And because we've got it locked, X and Y is proportional. Now the one thing I do find with this, and it really does not make human out the water as far as I'm concerned, I could never get make human right, in the sense that even if I got the size right in make human, you had to play about with the muscle content and all these sort of things, because I always find them coming out too skinny looking. Particularly the men, they weren't bulky enough, whereas this one comes out perfect every time. And as I say, you could do that one. If you had, say, a couple of them standing around or walking in different parts of your layout, then the answer is to do a copy on that one. Where's my copy? Copy that one there. Whoops. Copy, apply. And then we can move those over and we can alter the height to those separately. So, you know, you can go in and then you can go back into scaling. So you can end up with a number all on the same plate. These particular ones, let's get rid of that one. And for printing, I would forget which buttons to use. On printing, I would end up rotating it round. So I would go into rotate mode and I would take him round and I would print that way. And the reason I print that way, and I would go into supports and I would use auto support on there and apply. And that would normally work, because the advantage now, you don't need to put supports on the fingers, because the fingers, because you're printing upside down, the fingers don't need support. All you need to do is support this leg. That leg doesn't need a support, and a couple on the back. If I printed him the other way round, each finger would need a support. And that finishes it off, basically.